David here with Electric Blue Aquariums, getting ready to install my Aquatop canister filter in my 125. So this is a Aquatop CF500 with UV, has the UV light in it. Just kind of going to go quickly what I have here. So here is the intake and output that you can disconnect on it. The primer. And this is the switch for the UV light. And then back here you have the power cord. So this comes off. And you have multiple spots. Here's multiple trays. 4 trays. The first tray I will be using, the top tray I should say. I have the floss. Aquatop also gives you bio rings. Then I do have carbon. I don't normally use that, but I think for the first time I'm going to use it. I also have the floss with bio balls, and then floss with sponge. So I'll be setting that up, filling that up and getting that running pretty soon here. I also have the green hoses. They come with green hoses for the intake and output. They're very hard, not very pliable, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try some methods to kind of make those easier and more pliable. So here's the green hoses. They're kind of stuck in this circular form, how they come. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try a couple different things to make these pliable, and then I will have one as an intake on one side of the tank and one as an output on the other side of the tank. I also do have my polisher in the tank, and then I also have a sponge filter in the tank. I'll be adjusting that as needed. This is going to be my main filtration, and then I'll go from there and see what else I can use and get set up for the 125, make sure I have enough filtration for all the cichlids I have. So I'm going to go take care of these, and then I'll get this set up. Okay, so I'm back. I have everything rinsed. So I have the sponge and filter floss that I'm putting in first. I'll stack that. Then I have the floss with carbon. I'll snap that together. Then I have the floss with bio balls. And then I had the floss with ceramic rings. The ceramic pack that they gave you kind of fit on one side, and I had these Aquaneat bio balls. I was originally going to do a sump, but changed my mind and went with the canister, so I had a ton of bio balls ready for that. So I took them, put them in a bag, about half full, and they fit right here perfectly. So I can just snap all those together, make sure they're all tight. And this goes on top. And then I will slide this in there. Ready to go together. Check, make sure it makes a nice seal. looks like everything has sealed up properly, and we're gonna get ready to install it. So the way I remember for this though, for the UV light, is that there's a little sticker on the bottom of this, and if you line that sticker up with all of the holes in the trays, the UV light will match up and everything will fit together nice and proper. So this will get mounted in, the hoses will get attached, mounted, and then you have the intake, which has a strainer at the bottom, and then you have the output, which is basically you can make it as long as you want it, and it's got the bar where it so it doesn't make a crazy amount of waves. Otherwise, you could just have the end open and it would also force it out that way. So we'll get that stuff straightened up and we'll get the hoses ready, and we'll get that installed. So the first thing I done was got the hose a little bit more pliable. I soaked it in hot water in my bathtub. I slid it over the piece here, and then this piece screws down, tightens over this, and that's going to be the intake. We'll go on that, and then I'm going to hang that on my tank. I'm going to do the same thing for this. This is the discharge tube. Once I have that set up, I'm going to run them to the filter, prime it, and hopefully get it running here. So I've got it running. I haven't cut any hoses, and this isn't the permanent position I'm going to put it in. I still have to run another surge protector. So what I want to do is put a surge protector over here maybe, and then one over here somewhere. Set up air pump how I want it. But I did get this running. Let's see if I can see how I have this set up. The intake right here on this side of the tank, and then I have the back tube right here. I have it running along the back here. I have it pretty much to the max size, just to see how the flow works. My little word of advice: once you get the intake set up and the discharge set up, what I did is I disconnected the discharge tube that's in the back. It's the black tube. Actually was using the siphon button here, or the primer button, but it wasn't really drawing that much water to fill it up, because this was empty. So what I did is I just sucked on the air to the back tube, pulled a siphon, and it you could hear it literally filling up. Once I didn't hear anything filling up anymore, I connected the rest of the tube in the back and made sure everything was connected on here, and then I plugged the pump in. Once you plug it in, it's immediately on. Remember, the on switch, the on off switch on the top, is for the ultraviolet light. So yeah, I got that running. I just wanted to get that up and running as quickly as possible, and now I will, or later I will get everything nice and neat. I just threw some random fake plants I had in there. I did put everybody in here, so there's 2 polar blue parrots, 2, I don't know if you can see them in there. I got 2 fire mouths. I got I can't remember what that's called. Think of flying fox. I got a blood red parrot back there, and 2 red shoulder sebrums, plus a plecostomus who's always hiding. That flying fox guy, he was actually getting all the little nooks and crannies that the plecostomus couldn't get for all of the growth on all the wood in there. So yeah, I got it all kind of going, running. I have a sponge filter in there from the previous tank for some bio load. Yeah, so just kind of getting it up and running, getting everybody kind of comfortable in there, and then I will kind of tweak and finish everything how I want it. But everything seems to be running good. The logs are starting to, well, this one's starting to sink. I have taken 2 of the stones off of it, and it's still kind of staying there. So eventually we'll get some more off. If you have any ideas for anything I should do, or how I should lay out the tank with the driftwood and those like cichlid stones, as I call them, please put that down in the comments section. I know some people aren't a huge fan of fake plants, but these are cichlids. They tend to eat or tear up live plants, so if you prefer any of these, I'm not really a fan of the purple. I do kind of like the red, and then I kind of like this one here, but if you think any of them look better than any of the others, let me know. And I'll probably be getting more of that specific plant. I just kind of threw them in here to see how they all float around, and if they tipped over or if they would hold their place or what. But everything seems to be going good, so if you like these videos, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more of them, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.